Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're exploring the power of the subconscious mind.
Yeah, diving right into those deep recesses of the mind.
Exactly. We've got some fascinating excerpts from the book itself, and, well, let's just say, get ready to unlock some serious potential.
Because this book, it's not just some vague theory, It's packed with practical techniques.
Oh yeah, totally.
Formulas, things you can actually use every day to make real changes.
It's like a guidebook, right? To tap into this incredible power we all have, but might not even realize is there.
Yeah, exactly.
To achieve our dreams, live happier, more fulfilling lives.
And it even takes on, that age-old question.
Oh, tell me.
Why haven't my prayers been answered?
Right, like why isn't this stuff working?
And to get into all that, it starts by really making a clear distinction between your conscious and subconscious minds.
Okay, break that down for me.
Okay, so think of it like a ship.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Your conscious mind, that's the captain, making decisions, steering the ship, giving orders.
I like it. I'm the captain.
And then your subconscious, that's the engine room, powerfully carrying out those orders, no questions asked.
Okay, so if I'm the captain steering my ship, my subconscious is the powerful engine that gets me where I want to go.
Exactly. You got it.
But there's a but, isn't there?
Well, the thing is, your subconscious, it doesn't reason the same way your conscious mind does.
Okay, so how does it work?
It reacts to suggestions, whether those suggestions come from you or from outside sources.
Ah, so that's where those stories come in, right?
Exactly. The ones about the power of suggestion.
Like that poor passenger who gets seasick just because someone said they look a little green.
Exactly. They were probably already a bit anxious, but that suggestion, combined with their own anxieties, it just made them seasick.
Wow, that's wild. But then the book also talks about, like, the singer who uses the power of their mind to overcome stage fright.
Oh yeah, they command their subconscious to take over.
And all of a sudden, boom, they're confident.
Yeah, they're tapping into this inner strength, this confidence that was there all along.
It's like they reprogrammed their mind for success.
And that's a perfect example of what the book calls auto-suggestion. Consciously planting positive suggestions in your own mind.
So instead of letting those negative thoughts take over, you're feeding your mind positive ones.
Yeah, and that's different from heterosuggestion, where suggestions come from external sources, like that poor passenger on the ship,
So it sounds like being mindful of the suggestions we're feeding our subconscious, like, that's super important.
Hugely important. And then things get even more mind-blowing. The book actually claims that your subconscious mind is the soul healing power.
Whoa, hold on. The soul healing power.
No matter the method, traditional medicine, prayer, even those incredible faith healing stories we hear about.
So it's saying that deep down, it's our own minds that are actually doing the healing.
That's what the book suggests.
That's huge. So wait, what about the role of belief in healing?
Oh, that's a big one. The book dives into some pretty compelling examples, like there's the case of Dr. Esdaile, this Indian surgeon, practicing way before we even knew about bacteria.
No way, really?
He had incredibly low mortality rates, like remarkably low.
Okay, how? What was his secret?
He used to hypnotize his patients.
Wait, what? Hypnotize?
Yeah, and suggest to their subconscious minds that no infection would develop.
Are you serious? He achieved those results just through suggestion.
The book definitely highlights that.
Wow. Okay, so then what about, like the placebo effect?
Oh yeah, totally. The book actually compares it to Dr. Esdaile's methods.
Where people experience real improvement just because they believe they're getting effective treatment.
Exactly.
Okay, so if I'm connecting the dots here, it seems like what the book is arguing is that our beliefs, our expectations, they have a much bigger impact on our reality than we realize.
Absolutely.
And not just when it comes to healing, right? This applies to other areas too.
You got it.
Yeah.
We're talking wealth, success, the whole 9 yards.
So like if I'm constantly thinking I'm broke, I'll never be rich, is that actually holding me back?
The book suggests that financial difficulties often stem from not convincing your subconscious mind that abundance is even possible.
So it's not just about working hard, but about cultivating the right mindset around money.
Yeah. Like, the book tells the story of Mr. Broke. Totally broke, but he kept thanking Father for his wealth, even though he had none.
Wait, he was thanking for wealth he didn't even have?
Exactly. He imagined feeling wealthy, repeated that affirmation, and eventually things started to change.
Wow. It's like he willed his financial situation into existence.
The power of belief.
But what about those people who become wealthy through, let's say, less than honest means?
That's a great question. The book addresses that, and that's where its definition of success gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
It argues that true success isn't just about wealth, it's about achieving both wealth and peace of mind.
So you can be rich, but still be miserable.
Exactly. It uses the example of a pickpocket, living in fear despite having a fortune, only finding peace after turning to honest work.
So it's about aligning your actions with your values and beliefs, not just chasing money for the sake of it.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm with you. But how do you actually convince your subconscious mind to buy into this, to believe in abundance and success? Does the book give any practical tips for doing that?
It does. It actually suggests avoiding phrases like, I can't afford it. Instead, focus on feeling wealthy, visualize financial success.
Okay, so it's like training your mind to think differently about money.
Yeah, it's about shifting your perspective. There's this great story in the book about a pharmacist who really wanted to open his own pharmacy.
Oh, nice.
He could really see it. He visualized it in detail, even drew up plans and blueprints.
He created a mental blueprint for his success.
Exactly. And you know what? It wasn't just some wishful thinking.
So he took action too.
Oh, yeah. He combined visualization with action, eventually saving enough to make it a reality.
Okay, I'm starting to see the power of this. But is visualization the only technique the book suggests?
Nope, not at all. There's tons of techniques. It even mentions Goethe, the famous writer and thinker, right?
Oh yeah, Goethe.
Well, he used his imagination to solve problems. Like, he'd have these imaginary conversations with friends in his mind.
Wait, what? He'd talk to imaginary friends to solve problems.
To get their wisdom and guidance.
That's amazing. Like he was tapping into some collective wisdom within his own mind.
Exactly.
Okay, it's pretty cool.
And the book even talks about a student who totally improved his grades.
Oh, wow.
Just by visualizing success and sending out good vibes to his teachers.
So he basically created a positive feedback loop by changing his mindset.
Yeah. And this whole idea that we become what we think about, it ties right into the book's perspective on relationships, which we'll get into after a quick break. And, you know, when it comes to relationships, finding that, like, ideal partner, so many people get caught up in what they don't want.
Yeah, it's all about the deal breakers.
But this book, it flips the script.
Oh, how so?
It says attracting the right partner starts with focusing on the qualities you do desire.
So it's like, instead of saying, I don't want someone who's controlling, I'd say, I want a partner who's respectful and supportive.
Exactly. You got it. But it's not just about making a list.
Right. There's got to be more to it than that.
You have to align those inner beliefs, you know, with the kind of partner you actually want to attract.
Because, like, if I believe I'm not worthy of love, am I really going to attract a loving partner?
That's what the book argues. You draw in what you subconsciously believe you deserve.
Okay, so that makes me think about people who keep attracting the same type of unhealthy relationship over and over again.
Yeah.
Is that what the book is getting at?
It is. And it gives this really interesting example of a woman who kept finding herself with these submissive husbands.
Oh, interesting.
Turns out, deep down, she actually wanted to be the dominant one. She wasn't consciously aware of it, but those beliefs were shaping her reality.
It's like she was unknowingly sabotaging her own happiness.
Yeah, kinda.
So does the book offer any solutions for breaking those kinds of negative patterns?
It really highlights the importance of self-awareness, you know.
Yeah, like really understanding yourself.
Understanding those deeper beliefs that might be driving your choices.
And it talks about divorce too, right?
It does. It actually sees divorce as an individual challenge.
Oh, interesting. Not a societal one.
And again, it's all about looking inward.
Going deep.
Seeking guidance from that subconscious mind.
It seems like the book keeps coming back to this idea of tapping into our subconscious for answers and guidance.
Yeah, that's a big theme.
Not just in relationships, but like in all areas of life.
Totally. Which brings us to happiness.
Oh, happiness. Everyone wants to be happy.
Right, and the book argues that it's a choice.
Wait, what? We can choose to be happy?
It's a state of mind. It's not determined by what's happening around you.
So even if things are tough, I can still choose to be happy.
That's the idea. It reminds me of that story about the Irish farmer who made happiness a daily habit.
Oh yeah, what was his secret?
Gratitude. He practiced it religiously.
What, like he kept a gratitude journal?
Every morning and evening, he'd bless his family, his crops, his cattle, everything, gave thanks for it all.
Wow. So by constantly affirming his blessings, he was like rewiring his brain for happiness.
Exactly. But then the book contrasts that with this tendency some people have to, like, get comfortable with being unhappy.
Oh, I know that feeling. It's like getting stuck in a rut.
Yeah, and then they resist positive change because it feels like foreign.
It's like, I don't know this happy me, go back to sad me.
But the book says we can break free.
Good, because who wants to be stuck in a negative rut?
It tells a story of a businessman who was like totally consumed by resentment towards his colleagues.
I can imagine. Office politics, right?
He finally found peace by like really making a conscious effort to affirm their good qualities.
So instead of focusing on what was wrong, he focused on what was right.
Exactly. And that little shift totally transformed his whole experience.
Okay, we've covered healing, wealth, success, relationships, happiness. What else? What other areas of life does the book explore through this subconscious lens?
One that's really powerful is forgiveness.
Forgiveness. Always a tough one.
The book presents this idea that holding on to grudges, it actually blocks your well-being.
No, that makes sense. If you're constantly thinking about the past, about all that anger and resentment, it's going to eat away at you, right?
Exactly. So how do we actually apply this to like real emotional wounds?
Yeah, because forgiveness is so hard, especially when you've been really hurt.
Well, the book says the subconscious mind, it's always forgiving.
What does that mean?
It's always working to restore health and well-being. Like, think of a cut finger. Your subconscious doesn't hold a grudge against the finger.
Okay, that's a good analogy.
It just gets to work healing the wound.
So we need to approach emotional wounds the same way our bodies approach physical wounds.
Exactly. But the book acknowledges forgiveness can be really hard.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So it shares the story of this man who was just like riddled with guilt over cheating his brother who had passed away.
Oh, wow, that's heavy.
He thought he was being punished by God.
Oh, he was carrying that guilt with him.
But the book suggests that he was actually creating his own suffering, you know?
Through those negative thoughts and the inability to forgive himself.
Exactly.
So it's about recognizing that we have the power to break free from guilt and self-punishment by choosing forgiveness.
You got it. And it goes beyond just forgiving ourselves. It's also about extending that same forgiveness to others.
Oh, right, like forgiving those who have wronged us.
There's this amazing story of a woman who was left at the altar.
Oh no, what happened?
But instead of being, bitter and angry, she responded with understanding and faith.
Wow, that takes a lot of strength.
It does. But the book says it's key to our own peace of mind.
So forgiveness is ultimately about freeing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment.
Exactly. But then, there's fear.
Oh yeah, fear. That's a big one.
Another powerful force that can really mess things up.
I think everyone experiences fear to some degree. What does the book say about overcoming those fears that hold us back?
Well, it starts by reminding us that fear, like many negative emotions, is often based on illusion. It uses that relatable example of a child's fear of the boogeyman.
Oh yeah, that classic childhood fear.
To the child, it's totally real, but ultimately it's not.
It's about recognizing that our fears aren't always based in reality.
Exactly, and it encourages us to really examine those fears to see if they hold any real weight.
So don't just accept them blindly, question them.
And then it circles back to the singer overcoming stage fright, remember?
Oh yeah, visualizing success. Replacing those negative thoughts with positive ones.
And then there's the medical student with the exam amnesia.
Because he was so afraid of failing.
He overcame it by imagining himself passing the exam, rewriting the script in his mind.
It's incredible how powerful our imagination can be, especially when we use it intentionally.
Absolutely. So any other techniques for conquering fear?
Give me the good stuff.
Well, the book says face your fears directly, replace those fearful thoughts with positive ones, and visualize the outcomes you want.
So it's about taking control of our mental landscape, not letting fear run the show.
You got it. So we've covered a lot here. Healing, wealth, relationships, happiness, forgiveness, and fear.
Wow, that's a lot. Anything else? Anything else the book tackles through this, subconscious lens?
One final area, aging.
Aging. That's an interesting one. What does it say about getting older?
It challenges that whole societal idea that old age is just decline, decline, decline.
Yeah, it's all downhill after a certain age.
It has qualities like wisdom, character. Those things don't age.
Right, those things get better with time.
And our mental and spiritual faculties, they can stay vibrant throughout life.
So it's not about, denying that we're getting older, but changing how we think about it.
You got it. Embrace the potential and the opportunities that come with age. View retirement as an adventure, not an ending.
I love that. Celebrating all that experience. Does the book give any examples of people who embody this, aging gracefully idea.
Oh, yeah, tons. Like Socrates, he learned music at 80.
No way, really.
And Herbert Hoover is still super active at 88.
Wow. So our brains don't have to decline with age.
They can keep learning and growing.
That's encouraging. So basically the book is saying our later years can be just as fulfilling as our younger ones.
Absolutely. It's about shifting from limitation to possibility. We can learn, we can grow, we can contribute, no matter our age.
This deep dive has been amazing. It's really made me think about the power of my own thoughts and beliefs.
That's what the book does.
One thing that really stuck with me was those anecdotes about healing. Like, is it saying our thoughts can actually impact our physical health?
Oh, 100%. It puts a lot of emphasis on the power of belief in healing.
Even as something doesn't have like a direct physiological effect, the belief that it will work, that can actually trigger the subconscious to start healing.
That's the argument. Remember the stories about Dr. Esdaile and that piece of wood?
Yeah. Or the minister who visualized himself getting healthy again.
Exactly. And remember, these are just examples from the book. There's tons of research and anecdotal evidence out there that supports this whole mind-body connection thing.
It's a lot to process, but it's also like really exciting.
It really is.
It makes you realize how much power we have within ourselves.
It's an invitation to explore your own subconscious, discover your own potential.
Ooh, I like that. So as we wrap up, any final thoughts, anything you want to leave our listeners with?
Pay attention to your thoughts. Are they helping you or hindering you? What beliefs are blocking you? And what steps can you take to align your conscious goals with those subconscious beliefs to unleash that power within?
That's such a great challenge. Thank you so much for taking us on this deep dive into the power of the subconscious mind.
My pleasure. It's been a great conversation.
And to all our listeners, we hope this deep dive sparked your curiosity and gave you some new insights into the amazing power of your own subconscious mind. What resonated with you? What are you going to try out in your own life? Remember, this is just the beginning of your exploration.
It really does, and the book tackles those unanswered prayers head on.
Okay, so, why does that happen? Why do some prayers seem to go unanswered?
Well, it suggests that it often comes down to, a conflict between your conscious and subconscious minds.
So, I'm praying for one thing, but deep down, a part of me doesn't actually believe it's possible.
Exactly. It's imagine you're praying for financial abundance.
Okay, yeah.
But subconsciously, you believe money is evil or that you're not worthy of wealth.
So those beliefs are actually working against me.
It's like hitting the gas and the brakes at the same time.
You're going nowhere fast.
Those beliefs create resistance, they block the answer.
So it's not just about, wishing for something. It's about truly believing you can have it.
Yeah, cultivating that deep-seated belief.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about those times when, maybe you do believe, but the answer still doesn't seem to come?
The book suggests the answer might not always come in the way we expect.
Oh, interesting.
The subconscious mind, it works in mysterious ways.
Right, it's not always a straight line.
It might guide you towards what you want through, a series of seemingly unrelated events.
So even if I don't see the path clearly, I can still trust that something's happening behind the scenes.
That's the idea. Trust the process. Have faith.
Not just in a higher power, but in the power of my own subconscious.
Exactly.
This has been such an incredible deep dive. It's really made me think about, the power of my own thoughts and beliefs.
That's what it's all about.
One thing that really stuck with me, all those stories about healing.
Oh yeah, those were powerful.
Is the book really saying our thoughts can impact our physical health?
Oh yeah, that's a huge part of it. It really emphasizes the power of belief in healing.
Even if something doesn't have a direct, scientific explanation, the belief that it will work can actually trigger the subconscious to, kickstart the healing process.
Think back to Dr. Esdaile.
Right. Or the guy healed by the piece of wood.
Or the minister who visualized himself healthy.
It's kind of hard to wrap your head around, but those stories are pretty amazing.
They really are, and these are just examples from the book. There's a whole world of research and stories out there supporting this mind-body connection.
It's a lot to take in, but it's also incredibly exciting.
It is.
We really do have so much power within ourselves.
The book invites us to, explore that power, to dive into our own subconscious and see what we find.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the power of the subconscious mind, any final thoughts for our listeners?
As you go about your day, just pay attention to your thoughts.
Okay, I could do that.
Are they helping you or holding you back? What beliefs might be blocking you? And what can you do to like align those conscious goals with your subconscious beliefs to unlock that incredible power?
That's such a great challenge. Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive. It's been amazing.
It's been my pleasure.
And to all our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and given you some new insights into the amazing power of your own subconscious mind. What resonated with you? What are you going to try out in your own life? Remember, this is just the beginning of your exploration.